Such a pleasure to be joining you right here on the India Development Debate on ET Now. I'm Supriya Srinath, and straight up to the big story that we're putting the spotlight on, because this is a state that will be extremely decisive as far as Lok Sabha 2019 is concerned. And yes, we are talking about the state of Uttar Pradesh, not just because it sends 80 MPs to the Lok Sabha, but also because the BJP on its own has 71 MPs. Add two of the Apna Dal and the magical mark goes up to 73. How will the alliance between Mayawati on one hand and Akhilesh on the other really spoil the calculations as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned? Was it strategic to leave the Congress party out? Can you count them out completely right now? What's really the situation on the ground? Is there going to be an index of opposition unity that the Bharatiya Janata Party will have to be up against? Mayawati and Akhilesh, how is this marriage really going to survive? Many questions, but questions that will determine the fate of 2019, and it's only apt that we put the spotlight on Uttar Pradesh this evening. We're joined by a very eminent panel right here. Mr. Naren Taneja represents the BJP, Ghanshyam Tiwari represents the SP, Sulaiman Khan represents the Congress party, and Rashid Kidwai, somebody who's tracked the Congress and also Uttar Pradesh politics for a very long time, is also joining us right here on ET Now. So thank you each one of you for being with us. And Mr. Taneja, without giving ourselves to hyperventilation and without really getting carried away by the headline, I think it's only fair that I ask you the question. The index of opposition unity is going to be crucial as far as the outcome of Lok Sabha 2019 is concerned. As far as Uttar Pradesh goes, 80 MPs, you've got 73 from UP, 1 in every 3 MP, actually that calculus, 1 in every 3 MP, 1 in every 4 MP actually is from Uttar Pradesh. How crucial is UP going to be, and what sort of a setback is this Gathbandhan? You can't, I know some people in your party say this is a mini Gathbandhan, this is not a Maha Gathbandhan, but the reality is that this is coming together of potential caste coalitions. How damaging is this really?
Well, good question, Supriya. Uttar Pradesh is always important, not for BJP, but for all political parties. It has always been since the very first general elections, and I think it's going to be like this for a long time to come. Now, the question is that these parties have come together, we know it, but actually, our own BJP's base is very strong on Uttar Pradesh, and we have done solid work on the ground, since we moved into New Delhi and also, into Lucknow. So we are quite confident of not only actually maintaining our lead of 71 seats at 71 plus 2, 73, but we are quite hopeful that we might even exceed it. And this is not just empty talk. The reason is that there is nothing common between Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party. The chemistry might be working at the top level, at the leadership, but down below, things are completely different. If you really see on the ground, for instance, as we talk, one of their MLAs called, Hari Yadav near Firozabad, he has revolted. He has called for a conference of those people who are going to join hands with him. Mr. Shivpal Yadav, who was part of the, Samajwadi Party, he has kind of also, come out with his own plan. And Mr. Ram Gopal Yadav, who is the Chanakya or Samajwadi Party, he was not there at the press conference. Actually, he was not even in Lucknow when the deal was announced. So there are a lot of things, that we can't see. And our information is that, we are also tracking this party closely, that everything is not okay, even at the high level. Forget about the, this thing. So they have problem in terms of chemistry. They have problem in terms of, their karyakartas don't work together. They don't get along well. And at the same time, there are a number of other issues and challenge from Shivpal Yadav and others and all that. Congress has been kept out, and still Congress seems to be kind of siding with, with them. We don't know. But we feel that Congress has been humiliated. Badly humiliated, but still they want to go along with him. But so we have done our homework. We are quite confident as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. In the coming Lok Sabha election, Uttar Pradesh is going to vote for Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, just give me a minute there, and I think that confidence comes from the National Council as well, because Amit Shah says we're looking at a 51% vote share, 51% majority in the UP. Give me a minute and I'll go across to Rashid Kidwai before I carry on this conversation with the politicians. And Rashid, everybody says UP will be the potentially decisive factor. It has been true so far in Indian politics, barring of course I think twice. I think between I think it was 2004 and 2009, when the southern states, the undivided Andhra Pradesh and all of that became very crucial. But that aside, UP has been a very, very decisive state as far as Indian politics is concerned. Are we overestimating the importance of UP here, or is this perhaps the importance that it deserves, not just because it sends 80 MPs to the Lok Sabha, but because a dent in the number of sitting MPs of the Bharatiya Janata Party in UP is going to substantially push back their calculation all over?
Yes, Supriya, if you look at that map of India from Jammu Kashmir up to Gujarat, there are about 273 seats, and out of which BJP has about 220 seats as of now. And UP being heart of it, it's like a real nucleus. It has, not only 80 MPs, but BJP has control of 71, 73 seats. Now, if things don't go well, then obviously it will make a huge dent, as we know that BJP has very little, southern allies as we speak now. So, a loss of, out of the 220 seats, with a loss of 100 seats or so in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, along with UP, then that will be put a situation where the BJP will not be able to form a government of its own. And as we understand, see, running a heady coalition of a rainbow coalition for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP President Amit Shah, it is not going to be an easy thing, because they are not in a mold of Atal Bihari Vajpayee or P.V. Narasimha Rao or even Dr. Manmohan Singh. So this is a pragmatic, real problem that BJP faces. Now comes the issue of double anti-incumbency. As we know, see, the 73, 71 MPs when a political party has, there is also an element of disillusionment that sets in, and that is something. And the BJP has so many MLAs in every parliamentary constituency. The BJP has on average 4 or 5 MLAs. Now that also has compounded the problem. So the BJP needs to work on a lot of things, and they'll be really lucky if they get half of what they got last time around.
No, absolutely. And in fact, political calculus also tells us if the BJP doesn't get down to 22, then the government perhaps will be formed by the Bharatiya Janata Party. If they stay at a 40 in UP, the numbers then, tell a very different story. We'll talk about big numbers in just a bit, but I want to take it across to Ghanshyam Tiwari, one of the partners in that marriage that has been announced. And Ghanshyam, while, it's all very good, and like Narendra Taneja said, perhaps, there is meeting of minds at the top of the leadership, no doubt about it. I mean, Akhilesh Yadav in his press conference says, बहन जी का अपमान, बुआ जी का अपमान, मेरा अपमान होगा, मैं आप सबको बता दूं, आपको इनका पूरा सम्मान करना है. He was very reverent towards her. But the situation on the ground could still be very different. And you've also announced the alliance very early. So there may be murmurs of dissent, there may be deflections. You've already seen some people come to fore and say it is not acceptable. People on the ground, probable candidates, potential candidates. How are you going to take care of the rebellion and the problems within that will arise due to this alliance being announced?
Well, the strength of this alliance, Supriya, is on two fronts that we can see already. One is the way people on the ground, our workers, BSP workers, have responded to the alliance. Throughout that day when the alliance was announced, media was focused on what people are saying, and across board there was a clear confidence in this alliance. Second, that the way BJP responded, I have the Economic Times of the day today, and it says that how BJP responded. You look at Amit Shahji's response. He said, Gathbandhan, Gathbandhan, Gathbandhan. Immediately he threw a fit and started repeating the word Gathbandhan. The way the Prime Minister responded, it is almost as if the national executive meet of Bharatiya Janata Party was hijacked by the agenda of alliance, because this was this would stop them in their plan for 2019. In 2014, a slogan from Prime Minister Modi, "Ki Ganga ne bulaya hai," became very famous. In 2019, it will be "Ganga ne bahaya hai," because starting from where Ganga starts to all the way to Bay of Bengal, wherever the river Ganges goes, you will see BJP wiped out. Because in Uttar Pradesh particularly, you will see that the anti-incumbency that we just spoke about is rising. The biggest brand ambassador of Bharatiya Janata Party. It's not a footless campaign, it's a 4-foot campaign. 20 lakh stray cattle in Uttar Pradesh entering fields, entering highways, entering schools and destroying whatever little image that BJP could have on governance. So BJP has no model of governance to demonstrate, and on the other hand there are two formidable leaders with their own track record of governance, with their formidable ground support, organization that is very, very spirited, and as alliance partners they are speaking in one language. Look at the BJP alliance partners in Uttar Pradesh alone, be it Anupriya Patelji's party, who has officially said that she will not attend Prime Minister's program, or be it Om Prakash Rajbhar, who's been telling every day the corruption story of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Right. No, Ghanshyam Tiwari, give me a minute. I know you would want to attack the BJP on these counts, and it's very well to raise those points because those are also points that I want to cover in this discussion. But I think no amount of discussion in Uttar Pradesh can be completed without getting the Congress on board. And Suleiman Khan, what happened there? You won 3 states. You know, you are emboldened with those 3 victories, and yet your party is not taken very seriously by the regional parties in Uttar Pradesh. They divide the state between themselves, 38 each. They, yes, of course, leave Raebareli and Amethi, but that should be hardly any consolation. What went wrong? Is Congress so insignificant that it is not included, or do you believe strategically actually, let's just answer the question first, because I think Rashid Kidwai is better placed to answer the question of strategic affairs. But what about, is Congress insignificant, and is that or do you believe the Congress can still go on its own?
And
You're asking me?
the Congress president are actually humbled by the response people have given, the love and response people have shown in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. We are really humbled, and we are very thankful for the people that they have thrown the misgovernance of BJP out from all three states and brought back Congress into power in these states. And Congress is, you know, giving very good governance there. We have waived off the farm loans as we have promised. As far as the UP alliance is concerned, I think my president, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in Dubai, has said in a press conference that Akhilesh ji and Mayawati ji have forged an alliance. That is their strategy. Now, Congress party wanted that all opposition parties come together, but Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party thought otherwise, and they have made their own alliance, and this is their strategy. Now, Congress party has formed a different strategy now. It is going to contest on all 80 seats, and Congress party will push in youngsters and the new energy into these candidates. And as my president said, you will be having surprising results in UP as far as the tally of seats of Congress is concerned. I want to say, I have said about Congress, when the people in UP and elsewhere all over the country will go to vote for 2019 Lok Sabha election, the answers, the party which has to give the answers is the BJP. They have promised a lot. They have promised a lot of things. More specifically, Mr. Narendra Modi has done, a plethora of promises during the election campaign, and he has completely failed to deliver. Therefore, the anti-incumbency at the national level and the states
give
they
me
were
a minute.
governing
I will come to the
work
promises
against
made,
them
and what will 2019 be about versus 2014?
sentence, Supriya.
Okay, Suleiman Khan, give me a minute. I will ponder upon that point with the BJP representative. It's only fair that we give him the chance to defend. No, give me a minute. I will go across to Rashid Kidwai. And Rashid, the Congress has been left out of this alliance. The Congress, perhaps, I don't know if they are stumped or not, but the reality also is that the Congress, even in 2014, despite being reduced to just 2 seats out of Uttar Pradesh, had 7.4% vote share. In 2009, with just a little over 19% vote share, they actually had 21 Lok Sabha seats. So, can Congress be dismissed completely? And do you believe the Congress vote share is going to be the vote share that will actually eat into the BJP's pie, the upper caste vote share, the dominant caste that the Congress tends to attract in a place like Uttar Pradesh? Can Congress be dismissed outright is my question, because just in 2009, the Congress had 21 MPs from Lok Sabha in Uttar Pradesh.
Supriya, you see, 2014 was more of an aberration. It was a kind of tsunami across the country, and that's resulted in Congress just getting 44 seats all over the country. Now, 2019 is going to be very different. We do not know what will be the outcome, but the Congress. I just was making a mental calculation. There are about 40 plus, Congress candidates who probably would be contesting and who have been member of parliament, who have been leaders of some consequence in Uttar Pradesh. Now, these leaders are capable of taking on the BJP. Remember, a strong Congress is very bad news for the BJP. If you look at 2009 that you were referring to, Congress got 21 seats, Bahujan Samaj Party got 20 seats, Samajwadi Party got 23 seats, RLD got 5 seats, and BJP got 10 seats. Now, this is a kind of electoral arithmetic that that can happen. I'm sure the BJP will do better than that, but this is a kind of a real challenge for the BJP. Second point is that if Congress had struck a deal with SP-BSP in whichever manner, they would have to pay a price outside Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh, in Maharashtra, in Punjab, in Haryana, in Rajasthan, where the SP-BSP combined would have at least bargained for a dozen seats. Now, these dozen seats, Supriya, I remind you, are seats that Congress may win in 2019. So, giving these winnable seats outside Uttar Pradesh and taking seats in Uttar Pradesh which the Congress may or may not win, I think that was a kind of gamble that Congress didn't opt for. So it was a very clear, conscious decision. The Congress may not admit it because of that coalition dharma compulsions and all, but the Congress was never going to be part of this alliance.
Okay. The Congress was never going to be a part of this alliance, and I think as a political observer, one can actually turn around and say that how do you concede, contesting in 5 or 6 Lok Sabha seats in a state that elects 1/6 of, which represents 1/6 of the Lok Sabha strength. But give me a minute, and I will quickly take this across to Mr. Taneja. And Mr. Taneja, I think there are 2 questions that I want to ask of you. Contrary to what a lot of people immediately believed, if the Congress does cut in, it will cut into your votes. But other than that, what is going to be a big challenge in Uttar Pradesh? And you've been a candid man always to talk candidly and admit really things as they are. Is the voter in Uttar Pradesh really going to vote for or against Mr. Modi, or Mr. Yogi also going to be a factor? And is that bad news for you?
Well, no, it's not a bad news. He's a very popular chief minister. You just had to come and see at the National Council meeting of BJP how popular Mr. Yogi is. For that matter, in a number of public meetings that he keeps addressing different parts of the country. Now, coming to Congress, you see, with all honesty, I'm telling you that I'm from Uttar Pradesh. I don't see the Congress organization. I understand Mr. Kedvai's enthusiasm, but there is no Congress on the ground in Uttar Pradesh. You can go across Uttar Pradesh. Even in Delhi, where Mr. Rahul Gandhi lives, there is no Congress on the ground. They just brought in Mrs. Sheila Dikshit now to captain the whole thing. I'm sure she's going to try her best. But now in Uttar Pradesh also, according to Economic Times of today, your paper today is saying Congress is actually planning to change the captain, bring someone else as the party chief in Uttar Pradesh, and replace Mr. Raj Babbar. So that's the kind of situation of the Congress. So with this kind of party organization on the ground, the kind of optimism that my co-panelist just expressed, I'm finding it very difficult to buy even 0.01% of that. So because there is no party on the ground. Now coming to your question on Uttar Pradesh and other parts, you see, Uttar Pradesh we are going to do very well. Trust me, because only there was a tsunami in 2014. What about when we won Uttar Pradesh with 325 seats? So we remain very, very strong on the ground in Uttar Pradesh. Also, in Northeast is going to be a great addition to our tally. Northeast, we are going to do very well. Assam and the entire Northeast. West Bengal, we are gaining. Odisha, we are gaining. Karnataka, we are gaining. So, I mean, so the end result is going to be, actually our total number is going to be slightly more than what we got in 2014. We are looking at the national picture. as far as your pointed question to Mr. Yogi Adityanath,
Right.
he is an asset in Uttar Pradesh, he is an asset in other parts of the country, and he's a very tough and good administrator. You have to ask the ordinary people on the ground about the law and order situation, about the overall situation. Then you get the right feedback. There might be some people who might have different take, but that's so democracy. That's okay.
Right.
But the people on the ground are quite happy.
Oh yes, oh yes. I don't know about that. I don't think as far as, I mean, I come from Uttar Pradesh and I don't think I'm particularly impressed with the law and order situation, but give me a minute. This show is not about my views, this is about the views of all of you present here. And I'll go quickly around the table and please make your answers brief so that I can accommodate a lot more. Ghanshyam Tiwari, for now, of course, the marriages between you and Mayawati, you and the Bahujan Samaj Party and the Congress has been left out. But truth also be told, the Congress is the largest opposition party with a pan-India footprint that both you and the BSP don't have. How will equations be if the Congress does emerge as the single largest party, maybe trailing the BJP and otherwise? Will you then be a willing partner of that coalition? How does that dynamic work? Is a question that a lot of people will be asking. Because Tejasvi Yadav, who was present at that meeting with your party president today, is actually in coalition with Rahul Gandhi in Bihar.
Well, I think it's a fair question. We believe that this alliance is a representation of the political reality at the grassroots that we see in Uttar Pradesh. As a result, when the alliance was announced, you look at the reaction that Tejasvi Yadav ji gave, or be it Mamata Banerjee ji, the reaction that came. So clearly, this alliance, by its combination, also strengthens all the leaders across the country who believe that 2019 will give a different mandate, a new prime minister, and it is the mandate of 2019 who will choose who the prime minister would be. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, we have a very, very clear agenda, and we believe that the agenda and the grassroots support for the alliance are the prime reasons why we are in such a combination. This alliance is not a reflection on any party. It is a reflection of what we see as the spirit of Uttar Pradesh in building a new government that is pro-people, pro-farmers, pro-youth, pro the poor, OBCs, minorities, every section that this government has marginalized. Finally, in Uttar Pradesh, it is for the BJP to answer the questions on governance. For us, we have the track record of governance that we have to present. On your question about what happens post-elections, we have seen in the past 2 years that opposition parties have come together in a very transparent manner on issues of public significance, be it with respect to women's security issue in Muzaffarpur in Bihar, or be it with respect to petrol prices. So we will show that solidarity as a new combination emerges post-2019.
Okay, I'll quickly take a last question to Rashid Kidwai and get Suleiman Khan also in that. And actually, let me start with Suleiman. And Suleiman, please make your answer brief. I've really overshot and I'm on borrowed time from the other show. The question really is about these alliances that are going to be in the making. Can arithmetic trump chemistry? All of those questions best answered by experts. But the question is that, are you, the parties that we talk about, whether it is the BJD, the BSP, all of these parties, the TDP, AIADMK, DMK, they've all also been with the BJP in the past, as they have been with the Congress. How reliable are these election partners? Because things have been very, very different in the past. They have allied with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mayawati was a chief minister with BJP support in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So, things can be very different on the ground. The ally management can be very different. How reliable are these people? If you don't have the numbers, what stops them from walking across the aisle? Suleiman.
I can't say as on today, but post 1990, when this alliance politics started in India, I think a lot of smaller parties have aligned with a number of other parties which actually they have opposed initially, but later. But Congress party has a ideology, and it is right now fighting an ideological battle with the BJP and the RSS. As far as the BJP spokesperson is concerned, I agree with him on one thing, that 2014 was a tsunami. Tsunami is a destructive thing, a negative thing. They have destroyed the nation in past 5 years, and they are losing partners. They have lost Assam Gana Parishad, Apna Dal is going, the Rajbhar's party is going, TDP they have lost. So it's a sinking ship, and partners are jumping from the ship now. as far as the governance model is concerned, I think people are waiting to vote Modi ji and BJP out of power. Wherever I go, they ask us, just give us a chance now. They are waiting to vote for against the BJP for their misgovernance. Every section, farmers, youth, businessmen, you know, the atrocities on Dalits and Muslims, all these factors and the anti-incumbency, misgovernance are going to work against the BJP and towards the Congress and other opposition parties.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry, but I've completely run out of time here. I would have wanted more questions to be put forward on Uttar Pradesh, but one thing is for certain. India's most populous state will also be the most crucial as far as elections 2019 are concerned. If the BJP falls, but falls to a level of 40, be rest assured it is going to form the next government. If the BJP can be brought down to a tally of 20, 22, that's exactly what the SP-BSP and the Congress would want, then I think there will be a foot in the door that the alliance and the opposition will have. So UP will be decisive, not just because of 80 MPs, but because it is crucial to the BJP's tally. And like somebody, I think once said on this very show a few days back, that if it wasn't for Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Modi would have been leading a minority government. So Uttar Pradesh matters, and I think it's been an oft-used, oft-abused adage that the road to New Delhi comes through Lucknow, and I don't think that will be any different in 2019 as well. The caste coalition set aside, it looks advantage SP-BSP now. What is it that the Grand Old Party can do in Uttar Pradesh, and how worried should the BJP be, and how will they counter-attack all of this is also a big question. We take a quick breather, and there's plenty more that's coming up right here on ET Now.